Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Well, good Monday morning to everyone. Welcome to the show. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson in charge of things across the way this morning. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. We do the show from the Jarrett Construction Studios, right on time, right on budget. Visit jarrett-construction.com. Phone calls to the show with service of Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly on Spring Street in Charleston. Texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor, Virginia Street in Charleston. Tony saluting dads everywhere. Check out the selection of happy socks, quality tees for dads, custom shirts, and more. Visit bestmastertaylor.com or Tony's social media pages for more information there. Hope everybody, as I said, had a great weekend. Coming up, and I'll say this, you certainly cannot say there was nothing to do in the Charleston area this weekend. And not only, the entire Kanawha Valley for that matter. There was all kinds of stuff going on. Unfortunately, Live on the Levee was canceled because of the rain Friday night, but there was Dirty Birds baseball. You had the Charlie West Music Fest, pickleball tournaments, and Nitro. I got the opportunity on our sister station 98.7 The Mountain to hang out at a really, really cool car show benefit on Saturday for the benefit for the Putnam County Animal Shelter. All in all, pretty busy weekend here in the Kanawha Valley. Coming up a little bit later on, Charleston Mayor Amy Shuler Goodwin will be stopping by. So if you have questions or comments for the mayor, go ahead and get them ready. You can call us when she's on the air about 30 minutes or so from now. And the phone number, courtesy of Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, 304-345-5858. Or you can text, courtesy of Tony the Taylor, 304-935-5008. Also, a special event, a sensory circus for some kids or adults for that matter, that because one reason or another may have difficult time handling an actual circus. Jill Scarbro from Brighter Futures Learning Academy is here to talk about that, coming up a little bit later on as well. Our good friend Doug Erwin is here. Doug has been stopping by for the last couple of years to talk about a program called Backpack Buddies, and he joins us now. Doug, welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So for people that aren't familiar, how many years you been coming on my show? Like 2 or 3, I guess.
This is probably our third year. And we'll get into what the Backpack Buddy program is, but how long's the program been going on? This is actually our 13th year supporting kids in Putnam County, and we've actually had an active program in Boone County as well, and this will be our 11th year there.
Okay, and explain how the program works.
Well, what we do is that a lot of schools in our community have programs during the school year that send extra food home with kids during the school year. On Friday, they'll send home a little extra things to help them get through the weekend so they can come back. And a lot of our kids are supported by free and reduced lunches there in their schools. So just a little bit of extra food to help them tie over the weekend to get back to school on Monday to have breakfast and lunch at school. And one of the things that we identified was that there was not much being able to be done during the summer months. A lot of programs have tried to do things, but logistically it just didn't work out for them for one reason or another, where a parent might be working, couldn't meet at a certain time to pick up the extra supplies, or didn't have a car, didn't have gas for that particular week. So what we did is we developed a program which we actually pack boxes of food, and we eliminate the logistics part of it because we mail the food to our participating students. And we work very closely with the school systems to help identify and get these kids signed up that receive the support during the school year. Mm-hmm. And we continue that through the summer. And I'll tell you, we've got a lot of great community partners that really care and take care of our kids during the school year. And what we're kind of stepping into that gap for the summertime and kind of giving those folks a break to say, hey, recharge your batteries, because they're working 36 weeks out of the year because of the school, how long the school year is. And we help out during the summer months where we pack our boxes, and we'll mail boxes 4 to 5 times during the summer months, and then help those participating kids bridge that gap during the summer months.
And talk about that. You're working with the school system on this, and as far as getting the kid, because as you said, not every kid gets, or not every kid needs one, really, right, or their family doesn't need one. How does that process go when you're working with the schools? We start
back in March and talking with our counselors and support staff in our school systems, and we have a great communication system within the schools, and we offer it to everybody because we really truly do not know what's going on behind somebody's closed door. Maybe somebody hit a rough spot, and our program is offered to everyone. And then once we get near the end of the sign up period, we communicate with our counselors that support us and say, hey, these are the folks that we have signed up. You know who's getting the program during the school year. Please make sure that they get signed up, and they work very closely with those families and get those families signed up so that we can continue the support during the summertime.
Now, the reason I actually have you on today is not only to talk about the program, but to talk about this event that you've got going on this Saturday, because as you could imagine, this takes a lot of work to put this together, and you actually brought me what one of the boxes actually looks like. I'll try to get a picture of that and post it on social media. So talk about the event going on Saturday.
What we've done, this will be we have what we call our annual community packing days. Is what we do is we ask everybody in the community on June the 7th, this Saturday, we'll be at the Tays Valley Nazarene Church. They're on Tays Valley Road, and where we'll pack all of our boxes that we'll be sending out this summer. We'll be sending out over 3,000 boxes this summer alone for the Putnam County region. And what we'll do is we've got about 18,000 cans of ravioli coming, and
that's a lot of ravioli.
That's
Doug.
A lot of ravioli, and we got soup, vegetables, fruit, ramen noodles, cereal bars. We've got all of our supplies will be there. And we've got all of the boxes ready to go. And what we do is we ask our community to come and help us pack our boxes. We'll start at 10 o'clock.
And this is at the Tays Valley Church of Nazarene.
Tays Valley Church of the Nazarene. We'll line it up on the parking lot. We'll start at 10 o'clock. We'll have community service certificates for all of the students that come and participate. So we invite all teams, clubs, any student that would love to come and help. We say that we've got a job for everybody from 2 to 92 years old. So we can actually put everybody to work, and we start at 10 o'clock, and everybody will be back. I promise you'll be back in your car by noon heading home. So give us 2 hours, and you'll be helping over 800 kids this summer.
How many volunteers ideally do you need?
If we could have 200-300 folks, we can knock this out pretty quick.
Yeah, and he said it's great because students in West Virginia are required to do community service in order to graduate. So it's great for them. It would be great for civic organizations, your Rotary Club, Kiwanis Lions Club, that sort of thing, any of these groups.
Absolutely. And we'd encourage them to wear your team shirts, and they can we've got companies that come every year, and they make it a team building event for them, and we have a great time. We have a DJ playing some music, and it's just a great community event that comes together to help our kids that are less fortunate.
Talking to Doug Erwin again from the Backpack Buddy program. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Snap Fitness, with a wide array of professional wellness services, including customized personal training, licensed recovery experts, and staff of dietitians. 5 convenient locations: Charleston, Hurricane, Winfield, Barbersville, and Milton. Visit snapfitness.com for more details. Now, for those that aren't familiar with the area, it's real easy to find. If you're coming from Charleston and you take the Tays Valley exit, you hang a left and go, a mile, 2 miles up the road?
2 miles tops. Right before, if you go past the hospital, you've gone too far.
Yeah. It's, and it's right there on the left. You can't miss. You got a huge parking lot, easy on, easy off. There's a bank going in next door to you right now. I think, so you'll see the construction site there. But that's one of the great things about the location too, Doug, is you got plenty of room to work there. And if you get your 200 or 300 volunteers, you can easily put them all there.
Absolutely. And if we run out of parking, we've worked with Randy Hodges at CAMC, and we'll be having some overflow parking across the street at the new facility they have there. So we've got plenty of parking for everybody, and just invite everybody to come out and just it's just truly has developed into a great community event. It's you can mark your calendars for now for the years to come. It's always the first Saturday in June at 10 o'clock in Putnam County. But then also, if you can't make this Saturday, on June the 14th, the second Saturday in June, we'll be at the Madison Civic Center in Boone County in Madison, and doing the exact same thing in Madison, supporting the kids in Boone County as well.
That's good stuff. Doug Erwin from Backpack Buddies, where can people learn more information about this?
We'd invite everybody to visit our website, backpackbuddy.org. Kind of details the program there, and then if there's any questions about, if there's, we can come and talk to other communities as well. We've got, is this a silver bullet? Absolutely not, but it does help kids. We hit a milestone last year in our 12th year. We mailed our 50,000th box to students last year. So, in our first 12 years, we've gotten 50,000 boxes out into hands of kids. And there's about 15 pounds of food in each box. And, over 700,000 pounds of food have been mailed out to kids in our community.
And when you go to the website, if somebody's listening right now, they think, well, I think this is a great program and I would like to make a donation. Is there a way that you can do that on the website?
There's QR codes there. They can, and our addresses and everything like that. We can, all of that information is on our website as well.
All right. Well, Doug, we wish you the best of luck. It's this Saturday, the event, the packing event, as they call it, this Saturday, starting at 10 at Tays Valley Church of the Nazarene. That's 3937 Tays Valley Road. And you can visit the website, backpackbuddy.org, if you need more information on this event. This one is this Saturday. Then the following Saturday, they'll be doing one, as Doug said, at the Madison Civic Center. That's at 261 Washington Avenue in Madison in Boone County. You can also go there. Doug, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend. Thanks a lot.
Dave, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Hang out with me just 1 second here. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Meeks Realty Group, where you can unlock your dream property. Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality, whether it's residential or commercial. They have Charleston to Huntington covered. Meeks Realty Group, your journey home begins with them. Contact Rich the Realtor, 304-932-7488, or email R. Klein, that's Klein with a K, at meeksrealtygroup.com. We're going to take a break. When we come back a little bit later on, the mayor is here. Mayor Amy Shuler Goodwin already got questions lined up for the mayor. We'll get to those on the way a little bit later on. And Jill Scarbro with an event that's also happening Saturday in Putnam County. We'll get to her after we get to this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses live to make life better for you and your family.
When I set out to build our firm, it was built for greatness. It was built for you. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Office 222 Capitol Street, Charleston. Cases will be handled by West Virginia licensed attorneys. The attorney in this ad is not licensed in West Virginia. ForThePeople.com.
Over 70,000 West Virginia school kids, 1 out of every 5, is living with food insecurity. On Thursday, June 5th, WVRC Media will host the Drop Your Snacks drive-thru at our studios on Virginia Street East in Charleston. From 7 in the morning until 6 in the evening, you can drop off packages of snacks or a cash or check donation to Union Mission without even leaving your vehicle. Help feed West Virginia kids in need this summer. WVRC Media cares about our community, and we're proud to live here too.
The latest in news, talk, and sports on 580 WCHS is brought to you by Jarrett Construction. Visit jarrett-construction.com for more information.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
Welcome back to the show, 921 Bigley Piggly Wiggly Hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text, 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Bridge Valley, offering custom tailored trainings to supply skilled graduates and apprenticeships for your company. Visit bridgevalley.edu. Let me, before we go to Jill Scarbro, I do want to mention this, that this is an event similar to what Doug and the folks were talking about, not quite on that large of a scale yet, but this Thursday on our parking lot here at 1111 Virginia Street East in Charleston, we are going to be collecting snacks, perishable, non-perishable, I should say, food items. You know the way we've done these things. We've collected socks and we've collected items for flood victims in the past. Same setup, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. All of our stations will be out on the parking lot here. And, as I said, you know how it works. It's a circular parking lot. Actually, we argue about that every year. It's not actually circular. It's got another name. But anyway, you pull onto the parking lot and we'll have our staff out there, and we don't care if it's 2 or 3 boxes of food or if it's a few unopened bag of chips, whatever. We don't care. Just bring it to us. We are working with the folks at Union Mission on that. We'll have more as we get a little bit closer. But again, our event is going to be Thursday morning, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. on our parking lot here at 1111 Virginia Street East in Charleston. Let's bring in our good friend Jill Scarbro now from Brighter Futures Learning Academy. Jill, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Dave. How are you?
I am doing fine. You got an event this Saturday at Valley Park in Hurricane, a sensory circus. What exactly is that?
It's a whole bunch of awesome. So
it's a whole bunch of awesome, Ryan. Write that down. It's a whole bunch of awesome. Okay.
So what the sensory circus is we're bringing, it is a fundraiser primarily for Community Autism Resources and Education Systems, CARES. That's the nonprofit that was started out of Bright Futures to serve families in the greater Kanawha region as well as some parts across the state. So what we're doing is starting at 12 o'clock at Valley Park, we're bringing in performers from the Cincinnati Circus that they will kick off a show. There'll be aerialists. I hear there may or may not be some fire twirling happening. That first performance will happen at 12. Mostly that performance is for our fundraising teams that families have gathered together. This is a big event for our families that they have, their folks travel in from out of state to join them to walk together with their kids to demonstrate, hey, this is a place where sometimes folks that are excluded are completely included and the space is designed for you and built for you, and we invite other people to join in. So Circus kicks off at 12. Then we'll lead into our awards for our fundraising teams and our corporate teams, and then we'll do the sensory walk through Valley Park, which what that looks like is we basically pimp the park. That it is so cool, Dave, that we'll have, I think it's 8 different tunnels that folks will walk through. One of them is a misting tunnel, a wind tunnel, pinwheel tunnel. So it's a completely immersive experience throughout the park. And folks walk through that and then end at the soccer field with inflatables and just all kinds of fun. But again, it's a great time designed to build community. And then we have also at 2 o'clock, basically a second run of show that it's not specifically designed for our fundraising teams, but it is open to everyone. And we'll just ask for donations. Again, this is a fundraiser. We've got a heavy lift, it takes money to do things. And so we will ask for donations if you're able, for the circus and for the walk and for the fun and the activities.
Jill, explain to us the, I don't want to say difficulty. That may not be the right word. You're better at this than I am. You can explain it. How it's going to be different than a quote-unquote traditional circus. I know that's probably not the right term to use, but you know what I'm getting at. And what it is that some of the folks that will be taking part in this, maybe that they would have difficulty handling with a more traditional circus.
Yeah, thank you for asking that, Dave. That, as you are aware, autism is a broad spectrum of both strengths and challenges. And a lot of times what our families encounter when they try to do typical things that you as a parent and as a family would want to be able to do with your kid, like go to a circus, things that can be a problem is the loud noises and the flashy lights and just being in a crowd. That can be hard for our kids. And so what parents often experience is just they're scared to do that because they don't know if their child is going to be able to handle it. They might have a meltdown, which is then, unfortunately, a lot of times met with judgment and side eye and just, the awkward stares, right? Can you imagine?
Right.
Like, I'm afraid to go in the world because people are going to look at me like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with your kid? Why can't you do this? And so all of CARE's events are specifically designed for those families saying, look, we make accommodations for our circus seating. We've got, squishy pillows and places for our kids that may need some extra support to sit right there up close on the ground with some things to help make them more comfortable. And the most part is, the best part is, everybody that's there, we say, hey, this event is designed for these kids. So greet them with more kindness, greet them with more understanding. If you see a kid that, may have a challenge, rather than being met with side eye, lend a hand and go, hey, can I help you out there? And other families look at each other and go, yeah, same girl, me too. And so really what happens is families are met with their community, that they know they're not alone and that they're not the only one struggling, and other families can learn from and lean on each other through the process.
Talking to Jill Scarbro again, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Live Healthy, West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine. Live Healthy tackles pressing health issues, heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and RSV. It's a podcast offering insights into medical breakthroughs and preventative care. Features WVU Medicine's expert physicians aimed at fostering healthier lifestyles in and beyond West Virginia. Great resource. Check out the latest episodes, WVMetronews.com. Under the podcast menu, and start your journey towards better health today. So what I'm hearing from you, Jill, is that a lot of this is about, it has to do with education as well, yes. Educating people. And you spend a lot of time doing that sort of thing, coming on, doing a lot of media, shows like this, and doing television and whatever, and social media, whatever, educating the public on things like this.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. One of the things, too, that we'll have at the event is celebration signs that families, so a lot of times, especially graduation season, you see the sign celebrating, yay, this graduate, we're so excited. So we do a similar thing for our kids and families where they'll say, we're celebrating Penny because she's worked so hard and has learned how to communicate. And, so we do education that way. And we have some educational signs about what CARES does. But the thing that we're most excited about is the sensory experience, that we have a fantastic relationship with Valley Park. So something that's new and cool this year is that some of the elements are going to stay up in the park throughout the month of June. And so we invite folks to come to the park and take a minute and look at how cool it is, the way we've run fabric through trees, and look at the lines. And so, again, it's another way to try to get folks to shift perspective and notice how it can be cool to look at it through the lens of someone on the autism spectrum who maybe is really interested in the way colors shift, the way things feel. And so we invite you to come and enjoy those things too, to go, yes, autism and folks on the spectrum do experience an enormous amount of challenges, but there's also some real beauty in the way that they look at things. And so this is our opportunity to invite the community to experience that with us.
So what do you need from the community right now? I mean, do we need sponsorships? I mean, it's probably a little bit late for that, but what can the listeners do?
Yeah, thank you. We need dollars, right? We need you to show up, to have a great time with us and come meet our friends and, learn how some things might be different for some folks and celebrate that with us. So that's tier one. Again, we won't turn anybody away at these events. Yes, we will ask for, donations if you're able, but we just want you to come and be with us. And then, yes, step two is, we need dollars. And so folks can give on our website at wvcaresforautism.org. There's still time. You can sign up to do the walk with us, which is a super cool experience that you see kids just with pure joy. Like, look at, at the confetti cannons and all. So just come. And when right now, things are especially stressful, if you want to find some joy and just take a minute, just show up and have a good time with us. And if you're able to give us some dollars, we would really appreciate it.
All right, Jill, where can people learn more again?
WV Cares for Autism, FOR, not the number 4, WVCaresForAutism.org.
And I hate to be the one, no pun intended, to put a cloud on this thing, but there is some rain in the forecast on Saturday. Yeah. So what's going to happen there?
Yeah, so thankfully, as we're tracking it, right, it mostly looks like it's going to be early in the morning.
Okay.
And so by, showtime, we should be in the clear. But what we do in the event of rain is our activities, games and vendors, that all gets moved inside the conference center at Valley Park. The walk obviously still happens outside. So, bring some rain boots, bring an umbrella, be prepared. It's one more sensory experience, right? And now it's fully immersive, and now we're playing in water. So just be ready for it.
All right, Jill, and a big shout shout out to Justin and all the folks there at Valley Park for doing a great job, as they always do.
Fantastic. Yeah, we so appreciate them.
All right. Jill, best of luck with your event this Saturday. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Dave. Appreciate you.
22 minutes away from 10. Bigley, Piggly Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. We got the mayor coming up here momentarily, but before we get to that, I do want to throw this couple things out there. WVBargains.com is up and running now. This is the promotion we do once a year or so, giving you an opportunity to save a whole lot of money. It's an online auction, and there are all kinds of great items up for bid, and you can literally save thousands of dollars. Check it out, WVBargains.com. And go check it. I mean, everything from motorsports to you name it, and it's on there. Dinner experiences, travel, so on and so forth. Just went live this morning, so go check that out. Now, again, something I do want to mention, and we'll talk about it as we get a little bit closer, but this coming Thursday, we're having our event where we're collecting snacks for the kids out on the parking lot here, 7 a.m. until 6 p.m., and we're working with the folks at Union Mission on this. As we have done with events like this in the past, we move all the vehicles off the lot, set up a few tents, and we'll be out on our parking lot, 1111 Virginia Street East in Charleston. And we're asking you, the greatest listeners in the world, to drop off some snack items to us, some non-perishable things. And again, we'll work with Union Mission to get it to kids in need. I think the stat that was floating around here is like one in 5 kids simply doesn't have enough to eat. And that becomes a major issue during the summer months, especially. School's starting to wind down if it's not already ended. So it's an opportunity for you to help out. And we don't care if you drop us off 4 or 5 boxes of food or 4 or 5 cans of food, whatever. We'll take it on Thursday. All of our stations are involved, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. on our parking lot here at 1111 Virginia Street East in Charleston. We appreciate you, the greatest listeners in the world, very, very much. Coming up on the show tomorrow, Delegate Walt Hall is going to stop by. Also, Rick Cavender from Charleston Urban Works is on the show tomorrow. Rick has worked hard, as have a lot of people, to try to bring some grocery activity into the east end of Charleston. You may have seen the article, front page of the Gazette-Mail last week, about this new venture that's going to be going in, and we're going to talk to Rick about that on the show tomorrow. 25 minutes away from 10, we'll take a break. The mayor is coming up next. Get your questions and comments ready. We're back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for supporting local small businesses.
I'm Doug Leach, founder and CEO of Ascension Recovery Services. We've done a number of projects with Jarrett Construction. Finding people that really care about what they do and care about what we do is pretty unique. In Jarrett Construction, they care. They're really, really good people. Good people do the right thing, and they're very skilled. They have all the qualities that make up just a perfect construction partner, and they just build us a phenomenal building.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
Foundation issues? Wet basement? Drainage problems? Contact Foster Foundation Repair. Locally owned and operated by a licensed professional engineer, Foster Foundation Repair provides rock-solid service with certified results. Contact us today for a free evaluation. Foster Foundation Repair. Rock-solid service. Certified results. FosterFoundationRepair.com. West Virginia Contractor License WV061105.
According to Feeding America, over 7 million seniors nationwide were food insecure in 2022. West Virginia is no different. Hi, I'm Jason, President and CEO of Union Mission Ministries. For 113 years, Union Mission has focused on helping people in need. Right now, our senior citizens need our help. That is why Union Mission is partnering with local senior living facilities to get food delivered directly to those in need. Will you help us reach more seniors? Visit unionmission.com to learn more.
It's Bits for Bargains. You click and you save.
The biggest online auction in the state is live right now. Save big on a 2024 Kawasaki Z7 Hybrid ABS from Leeson's Import Motors, which retails for over $9,000 and has an opening bid of just $5,600. Or bid on a 2024 Mini Coupe EV from Nelson Auto Sales, retailing for $9,925 with bidding starting at just $39.70.
It's Bits for Bargains. You click and you save.
Also bid on a Generac portable generator generator from X-Spec Power, $25,000 in truck accessories from running boards and more. Vehicle detailing packages from Elk City Auto Spa and pest control services from Spotlight Pest Control. All with bidding starting at 60% off. Hurry though, auction ends this Friday at 5 p.m.
It's bids for bargains. You click and you save. WVBargains.com.
All right. 23 minutes away from 10. Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor text 304-935-5008. Older adults should protect themselves against severe respiratory disease. Talk to your doctor about flu, COVID-19, and RSV vaccines. Risk less, do more. Get started. Vaccines.gov, paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. The mayor of the fine city of Charleston is with us right now. Mayor Amy Shuler Goodwin. How you doing?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I am doing.
You just had Jill on, and I love Jill. Jill's one of my very favorite people in the world.
I love an interview when I start by saying, "Tell us what's going on," and she says, "A whole lot of awesome." That's what's going on.
I know,
I love her.
So great. She's so great.
And she talked about them pimping out the park. Valley Park in Hurricane. I don't know that pimping is the word I would have used, but hey. That's Jill. If you know Jill.
Jill, yes, I do. And this is what I'll say. There are so many incredible, we are so lucky, and we have so many incredible people working on behalf of so many different constituencies. But Jill's constituency is very important, and it's certainly near and dear to my heart. Jill works with children who are on the spectrum, who have Asperger's, autism, speech and language disorders, those with cochlear implants, those with sensory integration issues. And she's a champion for kids when it really, we don't have, she's a shining star. She's an absolute shining star, and she doesn't get enough credit. She works nights and weekends and holidays like so many do, but she takes care of our kiddos who really need that extra help. So it was a pleasure on my car ride here to listen to my good friend Jill.
Text says, I got to ask. This has nothing to do with us specifically, but that's okay.
Yeah, fine.
I got to ask, is this WVU baseball team really testing anyone else's nerves with just the 3 regional games they played over the weekend? OMG, going to have a heart attack. Stop.
I know. Between that and my nephew's team, the Pacers, it was a Saturday night of sitting on the edge of your seats. It was a very exciting time. I went up to Morgantown a couple of weeks ago to watch this team in action. They're incredible. Mm-hmm. They're incredible athletes. And, when the camera zooms in, Dave, you're looking at one of the kids, and he's got his retainer and his pimple face, and you're like, he's a kid.
Yeah.
He's a kid.
We forget that sometimes.
He is. He's a kid. So
we forget sometimes
how could he make that mistake?
Right.
Forced error. Okay, he's 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
Give the guy a break. It's what they do. It's why they go to school. Hopefully they're also getting an education. I'm sure they are. But these are still, they're still developing their brains. But anyways, I appreciate it. And I'm a big, as you well know, I'm a big Marshall and WVU fan. But I'm really pleased to see that they're doing so incredible. And that stadium is wonderful.
It is. It's
indeed a really cool stadium.
Another busy weekend, Mayor, in Charleston. I mentioned earlier a lot of stuff going on. We had Festival, Charlie West Music Fest.
Yeah.
This all coming on the heels of the bike event last week. You got Regatta coming up in a couple of weeks. What's fun with the Dome is coming up. We had a lot of stuff going on there.
It is the time in which we start stretching in the office, because it is, and it's important. It's important to always take a step back. We have a huge lineup, and every single weekend, and actually most evenings, we have something going on in the city of Charleston, Dave. But like Live on the Levee on Friday, take for instance, we had to step back. We don't do that lightly, by the way. Mm-hmm. Our businesses, our vendors, our hotels, our folks really depend upon us being, moving forward, even when Mother Nature is not on our side. But it's important. Safety first. And, just for instance, on Friday, yes, we're going to reschedule. But these are the things that, these are the things that keep you up at night. Yeah, sometimes. There are so many things that are in our control. As a matter of fact, as I was exiting the building, we have event meetings because the operations that we run and the folks that we support I don't care if it's a 5K race. I don't care if it's festival. I don't care if it's regatta. I don't care if it's live on the levee. I don't care if it's a bike race. We have an entire team of people that have to be coordinated, and ready to go. And most important, as General Hoyer used to say to me back in my governor office days, lack of communication or misinformation is how people win wars over you. So keep communicating, keep talking. Even if the message isn't what you want to hear, keep communicating with folks. And so I think that we try to do that. We can always do better, but it's going to be a very exciting summer once again in the city of Charleston. But to have I'm still getting my voice back. I know a lot of people are. But it was an incredible opportunity for our city. Somebody was asking me this morning in the gym, is the trick question, is the ROI, is the return on investment? By the way, it's not me making these millions of dollars. It's you, businesses, right? My job is to get people in front of your business. Your job is to get them in your store to buy your stuff or stay at your hotel. Is the ROI more important than the image, the national branding, excuse me, that you get? And, my initial response is the branding for the whole state. And not just for the city of Charleston, because that is, at the end of the day, what we need to make sure that we're always doing is putting our best foot forward. When we're on a national stage or an international stage. That does drive business, folks. It absolutely does, 100%. Is it nice to have money in the pockets of our businesses? Yeah, sure. But it's taxing too, though, for sure. A lot of heavy lifting and a lot of stretching we do now.
All right. And again, it's just going to get even more, as we said, with Regatta coming up, Foam with the Dome, and all these other things that are going up. But let's go to the phones. Our good friend Jim is on the line. Go ahead.
Good morning, Dave. Hello, Mayor.
Hey, Jim. How's it going?
Oh, not bad at all. I was wondering if there could be pamphlets being made up and the local printing shops could, get the recognition of it, letting people know what's going on in Charleston, keeping it action-packed and going. The crowds would be great. The hotels would be full, and just like the pickleball tournament at Nitro, I'm sure it was a huge success.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah, Jim, it's so funny you mentioned that. My old hat is communications, and my chief of staff, Matthew Sutton, has spent his career in marketing and advertising, and Tina Stinson, who does our comms work, has spent years doing this. And there's actually still a battle, right, between do you print something, do you put it online, how many views are you getting, and what is the value, right, of sharing that. And we go round robin's barn, as we should, with one another. I still do believe in the value of printing something and handing something out. You saw that with the bike races. Mm-hmm. But it is absolutely, hands down, the best way of communicating right now, as we stand here flat-footed, is what we're doing now on the radio, reaching out to people. You're listening, radio, television, and that inner Google, that web, that social media, because I can reach twice as many people right now. If I were right now to stand here with Dave and run out and hand out as many flyers as I possibly could on Regatta, I can't reach as many people as I am right now with this microphone. And so, but I will say, Jim, there is a balance between doing both. I think we work very well with the CVB and Tim Brady and his team of Jama and Rico and Lauren and Carly and so many people over there that do such a good job of balancing that. But I do appreciate your comment on that. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim. 9:45, text says, hey, Dave, could you please ask the mayor about the status of the splash pad down on Magic Island?
Oh, that's a great question. Let me text Tina right now. And let me go ahead and say this about the splash pad. And I do love a water feature. One thing there are several things I've learned as mayor. One of the things that I absolutely learned many, many years ago, no mayor likes a water feature. We just simply don't. Or pools, though necessary. They're very expensive. They break down all the time. And especially when you build a splash pad in a flood area. Mm-hmm. Because what happens is when it floods, it gets mucked up and gunked up. And the parts that you bought for this park many years ago, maybe the distributor isn't there. Maybe they've changed their parts, out of business, what have you. But I will check as we're sitting here on the radio, and I'll ask our team right now to check in it for me. But this is also the reason why we did the splash park at City Center at Slack Plaza. If you go there, I wanted to have a water feature, and everybody on the team said, "You already know, Mayor, what's going to happen when you do a splash pad? It's going to break." But when these when the fountains in City Center at Slack Plaza break, are not functioning or frozen up or something's happened, they go into the ground. It is not a distraction where people say, "I want a pond," or "I want a big fountain," or "I want a big." Then it just takes up space that is not usable. So many, many cities did what we did. As a matter of fact, we stole it, the idea. It just looks like a pretty pattern on the ground when they're not in use, but because they break. And we're a 4-season destination. So we have a lot of different weather conditions as well that are not always good for not always good. But let me check on that while we're sitting here on the telephone, because I really don't know right now.
All right. She's on it as we speak.
I'm literally typing. I'm literally typing and trying to still keep the conversation going.
Here's what's funny. If you could, and we're not on, this show's not on television yet. It will be on Metro News TV eventually. But one of the funny things is about people and you're not old, Mayor, so don't hit me with that.
Yeah,
but people of our generation, it's interesting when we have to send a text or check an email or whatever, how we have to stop to do it. People of, let's say, Ryan's generation, they just keep going.
Yeah, you know what?
I love it.
My 21-year-old does it to me, and it's annoying because he'll text and I'll say Samuel, and he'll say, "What's up?" Which drives me crazy, Ryan. I don't know what that's about. What's up? Okay. How about, excuse me? You need something? I'm sorry. What? Look at me. Look in my eyeballs, please. But they can. I mean, it's, for good or bad, or the other. That's who they are.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. Off night tonight for the Birds. They have a road series against High Point coming up tomorrow night. The Birds are back at the ballpark at Go-Mart Ballpark next Tuesday, June 10th. For tickets, promotions, schedules, and more, visit dirtybirdsbaseball.com.
Yep. Jeremy says the splash pad is working. And she said, I wanted to make sure because they had to repair a little something last week. So splash pad, Tina, per this morning, just moments ago, 9:47 says it's up and working.
It is up and working. Another big event that's going to bring a lot of people into Charleston happens later this week, Mayor, and that is the state baseball tournament over at Go-Mart Ballpark.
It's absolutely amazing. Again, the baseball is, I can't give enough credit to Andy Shea for coming in and really working with us in the early days of bringing the Charleston Dirty Birds here at Go-Mart Park. It is so much fun to watch these outstanding athletes play the game. My dad played the game back in the day. He was an All-American, so I love watching baseball. But it's so much more than baseball. If you haven't been, even if this is going to sound crazy, even if baseball is not your thing, the park is. I can promise you. My husband Booth and I get upset every time we go now, because when we used to take the boys there to watch a little bit of the game, have beer, get a little something to eat. Now they have Jupiter jumps, and now they have mini putt-putt, and now they have all of these things that you can still listen to the game, still watch the game if you have littles, and get supper and get yourself something to drink. But there's also so many other things to do. And he's really taken a page from what the big boys and the big girls are doing all across the country at ballparks. It is about the baseball, for sure. But it's also about, your parents listening to me, grandparents listening to me. You need to keep little people busy while they're there as well. Sometimes baseball is not the fastest sport. It's very exciting. If Matthew Sutton's listening to me, he's going to give it to me when I get back to the office to say, no, it is the best sport in the entire world. But sometimes in those lull times, it is good to have so many things. Charleston Sternwell Regatta is top of mind and tip of tongue, Dave. The 3rd through the 6th. I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that so people know. Here we go again. It's going to be a great year for the Charleston Sternwell Regatta. So we're excited about that.
And we'll be talking a lot more about it as we get there. We need to go to break. Text says, though, hey, Dave, while we're talking about sports, this is softball. How about those Cabell Midland Lady Knights? They won their conference, sectional, regional, and state championship. Great season, 29-3. Please give a shout out. Thanks, Dave. So there you go.
Yeah, I love softball. I played it all through school, and they're incredible athletes, and really softball is so fun to watch, but it's also such a money driver for any community to host more softball tournaments. If somebody gave us more softball tournaments, I'd open my arms with it. It's an incredible sport. Girls sports is the way to go. Girls softball, girls volleyball, we pack it in.
Also want to say shout out to your good friend Randy Barrett and the folks of Winfield, because they won this third straight softball championship. And I happened to be in Winfield while the game was going on Saturday. I was over there as a fundraiser for the Putnam County Animal Shelter. I was over there with our sister station, The Mountain, and that was all the talk that was there. It was people talking about the Winfield General, so we'll give a big shout out to them as well. We'll take a break. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Husson's Pizza. This month, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and a whole 10-inch sub, $23.99. Find your closest Husson's for delivery, pickup, or dine-in by going to HussonsPizza.com. You want to talk to the mayor, Bigly Piggly Wiggly hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor text 304-935-5008. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you looking for a technical job in the medical field? Generations is growing and looking to add on job-trained physical therapy techs to our rehab team. To apply, visit one of our 7 convenient locations or simply click on us at generationspt.com.
Earn more with 4 at the best community bank in the Kanawha Valley, Poca Valley Bank. Poca Valley Bank is now offering a certificate of deposit special, 10-month APY, annual percentage yield 4%. Take advantage of this great rate to grow your savings. For more information, stop by one of the 8 Poca Valley Bank locations today. Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter.
Certain terms and conditions apply. Rates based on minimum annual percentage yield. Subject to change without notice. Minimum deposit required of $10,000 of new money not currently on deposit with Poca Valley Bank to receive APY. Member FDIC.
For half a century, glyphosate has affordably and effectively protected Ohio farmers' crops from invasive weeds. Without it, the impact would be felt beyond the fields, hitting Americans where it hurts, our wallets. That's why the Modern Ag Alliance advocates for farmers' continued access to essential crop protection tools so food prices don't rise even more. Get the facts at controlweedsnotfarming.com. Paid for by the Modern Ag Alliance in support of Ohio farmers.
Looking to buy or sell U.S. coins or currency, or need an appraisal on a coin collection? The Coin Man in St. Albans has been established since 2009, and he's the area's expert in currency. Whether you're buying or selling coins and coin accessories, he's got you covered. But that's not all. He also deals in select antiques and glassware. Visit the Coin Man today at 2412 Kanawha Terrace in St. Albans and discover treasures that transcend time. The Coin Man, where every coin tells a story.
Looking for a fun evening out with your family? Catch a movie at Taze Valley Cinemas. They're this week's 50-50 Friday. With 10 screens using Sony Digital 4K projectors and DTS sound rumbling your chair, you'll experience movies the way they were meant to be seen. Save time and purchase your tickets in advance at TazeValleyCinemas.com. Friday at 9 a.m., go to WCHSnetwork.com and click the 50-50 Friday button to get 50% off gift certificates for Taze Valley Cinemas, courtesy of the WCHS family of networks.
Welcome back to the show, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. Poor indoor air quality can cause a variety of health issues, allergies, respiratory problems, and more. Pinnacle offers specialized indoor air quality services for residential, commercial, and industrial type settings. Visit pinnaclecorp.net, because what you don't know can hurt you. Text for the mayor says, inquiring as to whether the brass band that was canceled last Friday night at Live on the Levee is going to be rescheduled.
Well, I know that we are trying to reschedule a group. I asked that on Friday, and I think that they were trying to figure out if they could get them. They are absolutely incredible. But I know as of today, we are going to reschedule someone. If we can get them, absolutely. But if we can't, we're going to get somebody
Well, they ended up playing anyway.
Yeah,
I saw
did. I know.
5th Street, right?
Which was amazing.
Yeah,
inside.
they ended up taking the show, and it really wasn't a part of a Live on the Levee thing, but somebody just said, let's take the show indoors. And they ended up playing at 5th Street the other night.
Yeah, it was absolutely
that
incredible. I saw all the videos. It was absolutely amazing.
Text says, ask the mayor what's going on with the property of the old steel plant on Morris Street. Fill in something here, Mayor.
Well, I think they're probably talking about the lift center.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought it was.
Yeah, I think they're talking about the lift center. It is a multi-million-dollar project that we have worked on for years now in cooperation with the federal government and the state government, Charleston Area Alliance. I think Drew Dunlap has probably been on the show several times. It was taking down an old steel plant that used to be there, that used to manufacture the carts and the cars that used to run coal. And Willie Lively, who ran it, and transforming that space and that place right off of Dixie Street. I think that's what they're talking about.
That's kind of what I thought too. And if they want to, that text wants to text back and
or call me, or call me 348-8174. Call me.
All right. What else you got, Mayor?
You know, the one thing I wanted to mention is Hearts of Our Neighborhood. There is a grant program that is offered right now through the mayor's office, approved by City Council to do mini grants for our neighborhoods. If you see a project or something that you see in one of our parks that you'd like to have added, or a light or some type of art piece in your community at one of our centers, call my office if you need more information, but it's online. It's an application, Hearts of Our Neighborhood, for our nonprofits and our folks who are looking to get engaged and involved. This is why I started the Hearts of Our Neighborhood. I was getting calls or texts. Hey, can you give me money for, I think it'd be really cool to have a swing set here. I think it'd be really cool to add a bench here. Hey, can you add kind of these flashing lights on this street here, on this city street here? And so last year earlier this year in my State of the City address, I launched it. Hearts of Our Neighborhood, because, listen, we come up with a lot of good ideas, but the best ideas that we get in the city is when people bring them to us. Well, you live there. You live there every single second of every single day. Yeah, I walk your neighborhoods all the time, but because you live there. Tell me what you want. Let's work together to try to make the spaces and places where you have your community work. Wirtz Avenue. Hey, we want to grill at our new park at Wirtz Avenue. Okay, great. Let's talk about it. But now we have a fund of money that I've set aside to say, if you want these things to happen in your neighborhood, let's work together and get them going. And it could be a program, too. It could be a senior program or a youth program that you'd like to help support at one of our facilities. Let's work together and make it happen.
All right. Clarification here. There is a lot on Morris across the tracks from Bricks and Barrels that's being torn up.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thanks so much. So it's actually behind it. It would be behind Bricks and Barrels. It's my understanding that is going to be turned into one of those huge, big drive-through car washes.
Okay, there you go.
I think that's what you're talking about. On the opposite side of the Bricks and Barrels, on the opposite side of the train tracks.
That's kind of what I thought, too. Mayor, appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
All right, TJ, you're up. What do you got, man? You got to follow the mayor, so what do you got?
Got to turn my mic on.
Yeah, he's new.
You're the running the board, not me. Scott McFarland, CBS correspondent. He's been in Mingo County reporting, so he's going to join us at 10:06. McDowell County. Did I say Mingo? I apologize. McDowell County. Matt Lewis coming up at 11:06, talking about the Democrats' demise. Joe Bro on that WVU baseball game yesterday. That and a whole lot more.
All right, we'll be listening. I will join you later today, along with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron for Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. We'll see you coming up at 12 noon. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM, W243DRFM Charleston, and W283AQ Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.